Alright, Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash. Is all praises to the world called God, whose true name in Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem meaning in the name, Yahushai being the name of the only begotten Son. Also, I want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful like preaching his word in truth and sincerity. On the brother Tazabah in the Great Millstone, Arizona camp. Well, with another video to edify. And I want to go on this video, right? And the ties between NATO, the EU, and America, which are souring day by day, right? You have the American dollar compared to all the other currencies still strong, right? But all the European allies' currencies are crippling, even though it's by plan. But because they're crippling, because the uproars of the people, right? All these politicians and everything, their lives are going to be at threat. Their livelihood, who they know, right? Who they know are going to be in threat of dying this winter because of how this devil set it up, right? So, which goes into the 10 horns, right? Which we're going to touch on, but now here it is. These European nations are starting to feel the squeeze of this American policy that is causing their nations to become crippled and in social distress to rise because of those American policies. So we play this. I'll get some precepts, and Lord will this be edifying.
And we can now join France 24's Clovis Casales, who is covering that protest march in Paris. Clovis, what's the atmosphere like? What are people saying to you?
Well, it was very calm at the beginning. There was some chanting, anti-capitalist movements. And as you can see now, we've had to cross over and go on the other side of the police cordon, because there have been first serious clashes with demonstrators taking barriers, scaffolding, and trying to throw bottles at police forces. And therefore, we've had to cross the other side. Clashes between demonstrators and police. Police also acting quickly to try to disperse those angry crowds, black blocs, far left supporters, far left activists, basically here to cause chaos, to show their anger in this movement, which is all about getting higher salaries. This demonstration organized by the CGT, which is one left-wing union, many other left-wing unions also, and we saw some far-left leaders, people from France Indécise, France Unbowed, which is the French party led by Jean-Luc Mélenchon. Jean-Luc Mélenchon, who has said that he hopes this will be a new May 68, that people will turn en masse, will take to the streets nationwide in order to show their opposition to the government, to ask for...
See? And these things are cooking up because those policies that America has set up, causing these austerity measures, causing these the supply to dwindle, right? Causing all hell to break loose, as is written, right? When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, right? And so the wicked bear rule, and people are starting to mourn. They're starting to feel it ever so very, very much so now. And it's going to get worse as the winter increases, right? So this is what's happening on a grand scheme. And this is one of those figureheads of the 10 horns, right? So when you go here, the 10 horns going to Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Greece, Spain, Portugal, England, Ireland, West Germany, and oh man, I can't make up the other one. I'm forgetting the name too. 1 second. There it is. Right here. The 10 horns, right? Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Greece, Spain, and Portugal, England and Ireland, and West Germany. Right? And all these countries are starting to have worsening economic situation, right? France, Italy. Italy's been in a hole for a minute. The Netherlands have been in a hole for a minute. Greece has been in a hole for a minute. Right? Spain and Portugal. Spain has been in a hole for a minute. England is finally getting to the point where now the British pound is at its lowest point compared to the American dollar. And when that thing drops below the price of the American dollar, that's when you're going to see them start bucking out, because things are going to exponentially increase as far as price goes, right? This is the beat. This is America's the whore that's sitting on the beast, and these nations that have dealt business with them, right? That have drinking the wine of the fornication, they've gotten into all these economic deals and trade deals and everything. Now that relationship is souring, right? So when the relationship sours, that's when all hell starts to break loose. This is Revelation 17:12. It says, in the 10 horns which thou sawest, we went through the 10 horn list. It says, are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet, right? Because truly these nations are considered kings, right? But they have received no kingdom. They're not in the leadership role, right? But receive the power as kings 1 hour with the beast, right? They're able to sit here and come up with their own militaries. They're able to sit here and do their own economic schemes. They're able to sit here and trade and set up policies for their own nations, right? They receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. It says that these have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast, and that's what they've done, right? They've given their power and strength unto America. They said, who's the one that tells them, well, we're going to put sanctions here, we're going to put sanctions here? It's America that leads them in the 10 horns, which we went into, do whatever they say, right? It says, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For Yahweh, for the Lord, for Yahweh of Lords, the King and King of Kings, and they that were with him are called and chosen and faithful. So this is what's happening. Basically, all those kingdoms that have received 1 hour with the beast have had that power, and now, since it's fading, now since those things aren't working out anymore, now they're going to start revolting, because when you have situations like this where the people rise up, Esau's the type, he doesn't want to take any scrutiny. He's going to throw the blame. These other nations are going to get pissed because they know the economic scheme. They know how trade works. They understand more than Americans how these economic tides affect them. And when these things ramp up, more and more people are going to be against Babylon the Great. So Revelation 18:3, it says, for all the nations have drunken of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, right? Being laid down, right? Taking on these other policies, this other customs that America brings, and that are not common to their own cultures, right? All these nations have done this, right? It says, and the merchants of the earth are waxing rich through the abundance of her delicacies, right? But they've been coming drunk, right? They're becoming drunk by taking hold of this devil's policies, by doing what they've been doing, because they were able to get some money for some time, but now the money's slowing up, right? The money's acting funny, and these people are going to start snapping out of it. Why the fuck did we mess with you? That's going to be their mindset. Why the hell are we taking direction for this bum, right? It's a Revelation, Jeremiah 51:7. It says, start 6. It says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance, and he will render unto her a recompense. Babylon had been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand, right? Because What America's been able to do has been done simply to bring this devil to the day of destruction. The Lord said, "What? What if the Lord was willing to suffer patiently the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, that He may show His power in them?" Right. So America's been His golden cup because the Lord has allowed them to be. Only He who now let it will let. So it says Babylon had been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. Right? We got how these nations have drunken the wine of the fornication, right? All these nations have been able to see and get rich, right? Sell their wares in America to make profit. It says the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And that's what you're seeing. This is why you see Saudi Arabia coming against America. This is why you see Russia, China, Iran, even Turkey, right? They're dealing with record high inflation, right? Therefore, the nations are mad, man. They're angry. They're they basically got that drunken rage that why the hell are they doing this thing? Babylon is suddenly falling to destroy. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, right? But she is not healed. She is not healed. America has no chance of healing. Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up unto the skies. Meaning, this place, everybody sees the wickedness of America, right? So that judgment is coming up to the Lord, and all the cries of the saints are coming up to the Lord, and now we're getting close to the time where this devil's about to be taken out, right? But you nations are going to turn against America, even their allies, right? This is Revelation 11 and 18. It says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath hath come, and thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead, that they should be judged. Right? The nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroyed the earth. And who is that? It's America. They not only destroyed this place through their military means, but they've destroyed it through their economic structure. They've destroyed it through their rape, robbery, murder of the peoples. Right? They've in the this displacement and disbursement of peoples into lands and aspects that they don't even have the aptitude for. Right? The Lord put spirits on these nations to be able to make certain things to produce in this world. This is why Moab, they're big on service. They're made to be servants, right? Not to sit here and come up with buildings. Look what they're doing over there with buildings in China, right? Whole fucking apartment buildings. Niggas are putting their whole life savings into, and the motherfuckers falling apart right in front of them, right? You got Ishmael going into business ventures that they shouldn't be doing. Right? The Lord gave these nations a lot to follow, and Esau came around and said, "No, you're going to do this for me. I'm going to have you do this for me." Right? No, but when the real righteous come back into authority, we're going to put things in order. But it says, into the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and should destroy them which destroy the earth. I'm gonna drop that there. But ultimately, this is what's happening. The nations are getting mad. Right? This is why when you go to the book of Daniel, I think it's Daniel 2. Yeah, 2. This is the time we're in, right? Where those tires are being broken. Daniel 2 and 41, it says, "And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes," right? Those feet and toes, right? The toes goes into the same as the 10 horns, right? It says of 10 toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, and there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. So some of those toes are going to be made iron. They're going to be strong nations. This is why when you look at that list, right, you can tell that there's nations that are stronger, right? Naturally, you can tell France is one of those stronger nations economically. Naturally, you can tell Germany is one of those stronger countries economically. You can tell that England is one of those countries more strong economically, right? But then you have the other countries that are weak economically, right? Weak military wise. Some of these countries are far more strong military wise as well, right? That's that part of iron mixed with miry clay. Some of those nations are clay. Some of them are iron. It says, verse 42. It says, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken, right? And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. So we're seeing that right now, that cleaving to each other is not happening. That cleaving to each other is starting to break apart, right? And when these economic woes increase, you're going to see further dissonance. You're going to see further upheavals. You're going to see more and more strain on the relationship that Babylon the Great has with these countries and they have with each other. Right? You saw this during the Brexit, and it's getting worse. Right? But more and more of these strikes, more and more of this economic woes and supply chain woes and energy woes, those ties are going to break apart even further. So just something to look at. Keep your eyes open to these things. Lord willing, it was edifying. Shalom.